that they are not giving this up. They are going to continue to fight. They usually prevail, first of all. Second of all, your children know that you're fighting for them. They will know that you're fighting for them. And at some point, they will be able to make their own decisions if for whatever reason it doesn't work in the courts. Now, what I tend to promote, and I try to promote this as much as possible, is more like a collaborative law effort, in the sense that everyone comes together and sits down and says, this is what we would like. It's very, very similar to mediation, where you come together and you say what you want to happen, your desires, all of those, in an attempt to really come together to find something that works for everyone. I would tell a dad, just focus on the prize. I mean, just keep pushing. Just keep pushing, and just know that you have people like me. You have other people that really are here for dads. And so sometimes it's just knowing that you have someone in your corner that's fighting along with you. That's another aspect to keep them going.
Are there issues of faith that need to be considered in these disagreements?
I think everything needs to be considered. I think everything needs to be considered because, again, those of us that are of Christian faith, one thing that we learn about is being equally yoked. And unfortunately, that's a consideration you may need to think about, before getting into a situation where you have children. If it's something that's going to be a sticking point for you, if the relationship dissolves. But I do think that there are issues of faith. I think that you have to ask yourself. I know lots of people that literally have said, I could have fought for visitation. I could have fought for lots of things in court, but I made a choice that I was going to take a faith-based approach, and I was going to completely turn this situation over to God and ask God to give me the desires at my heart. And they've gotten that. Several, and these are men, several of them ended up with sole custody. I know one testimony I've heard was that the mom just out of the blue, she had shut down all communication with the child. I think that at some point they became Jehovah's Witnesses, and so she shut down communication with the child, and just one day, literally out of the blue, contacted him and his wife and said, you need to come and get your daughter. And from that call, wow. The daughter came to live with them and was with them forever. So yeah. I think for people that are, if your faith is at a point that you can
trust God with it by itself
and let it go, then you definitely want to implement that. I believe whatever works, because the thing about faith is that once you do that, you will also have a peace that goes along with it. So that rest that you need, you won't be up at night struggling with it and thinking about it, and you won't have ulcers because you're worried about your child, because you're going to know
God's got it under control.
He's got it. And so that's another aspect of it. But yeah, I think, but you have to definitely, you have to have it. You have to have that faith to sustain.
Ms. Moore, we are so thankful to have you share your thoughts and some of these admonitions. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after the break. You've been listening to Conversations from the Cave. My special guest tonight is LaTonya Moore, attorney at law. This is Conversations from the Cave. I am your host, Kirk Kennedy. After the break, talking with attorney LaTonya Moore, who has been sharing with us many issues that are important to men going through family conflict and some of the legal aspects of those issues. She's also talked about the mindset and even considering faith when dealing with some of the challenges that are present in today's society. We all know that the courts are biased towards moms, but what can dads do? Well, Ms. Moore has given us a lot of things that dads can do, but one of the things that she has referenced in her discussion is an event that's coming up rather soon. Ms. Moore, can you talk with us a little bit more about that event?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing fathers' rights workshops. Some of them are going to be offered virtually, and some of them will be offered, of course, in person here in Huntsville, primarily in Alabama. for the in-person workshops. And we're going to be talking about things. We're going to be talking about custody. We're going to be talking about visitation. We're going to be talking about legitimation. We're going to be talking about child support. We're going to be talking about taxation and making sure that you have the right systems in place for your child. So it's all of those things we're going to cover in a lot of the Father's workshops that I am going to be hosting throughout the year.
Wow. That sounds wonderful. That sounds wonderful. Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited, and I know that this is something that is really timely. So I'm just blessed to be a part of that. And another event that I am honored to be one of the guest speakers. I think I'm just one of the guest speakers. It's an event hosted out of the Auburn, Alabama area by a organization called Empowerment for Life, and they are doing a workshop called Dads Matter. And I'm going to be talking about a lot of these very things that I just mentioned for the Dads Matter event. I'm going to take in direct questions, real life situations. So we will have some time set aside for that so that we can offer some real time solutions and problem solving with the dads that are going to be at that event. I'm very excited about that because Empowerment for Life has asked me to be a referral resource for them. And what that means is that for the dads that come through that really need legal services or they really need a legal consultation based on the situation that they're in, they will be sending them to me as a referral. So I'm really excited that they are entrusting me to really be one of the professional.
Yeah, professional advocate.
And it's funny because I think I am the only woman.
Wow.
I think I'm the only girl in the boys club, but that's okay.
And even tonight, you're the first woman. You have been the inaugural woman who is in the cave tonight, so you can consider that also a privilege. It seems
to be a barrier breaker.
Well, right, there you go. My question to you is, when you think about these programs, is there going to be a unified schedule where men can kind of get contiguous information? Are they going to build one upon the other, or are these things that, as you join, some of the information will be reiterated?
Well, as far as Empowerment for Life, I'm not sure exactly what they do a broad range of things. And so my connection with them, my understanding is that they're going to do a series of smaller workshops and then a big forum. And so at the forum, I think all of the professionals that were a part of the small workshops are going to be in one big workshop, or one big conference. And what they told me is that their vision for all of these events is that it's dads only or men only. And so that's going to be very interesting because you typically don't see that.
Right. Yeah.
You almost
never see that, actually. I want to tell you that Conversations from the Cave will be in great support of this outreach. Whatever we can do on our end to get the word out about the events, the times. We'd like also to have some contact information from you, Ms. Moore, that you would feel would be appropriate for gentlemen who are trying to get involved in this empowerment program, as well as whether or not they might need legal counsel for specific issues that they need to have addressed in terms of family conflict. Would you be willing to? We'll put that stuff, of course, in the description of the show. But would you mind giving us some contact information here on the podcast?
Oh, absolutely. So they can go to my website. That's www.latanyamore.com. They can reach me on Facebook again at Latanya Moore. I have a personal and a business page there. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat.
Okay. And that's spelled go ahead. That's spelled Letanya Moore. Is that correct? Yeah. Moore.
Yes, that is correct.
It's been a pleasure having attorney Latanya Moore. This has been a special edition of Conversations from the Cave at noon Central Standard Time on Spreaker.com along with iTunes. Be sure and share the podcast with others that you know. It's been great to have you. We'll be back for another exciting episode Sunday, Central Standard Time. This is Conversations from the Cave.
Conversations from the Cave is brought to you by the Alabama Cornea Care Center, Northern Alabama's first irregular cornea, keratoconus, and scleral lens referral center, specializing in the management of degenerative cornea disease and complications resulting from refractive surgery. For more information, you may visit them on the web at alabamacorneacare.com. The Alabama Cornea Care Center, helping patients see the light of the world. Conversations from the Cave is a production of the Provox Media Group. For more information or to share your questions or comments, visit our podcast Facebook page by searching Conversations from the Cave. The views expressed on this program are the personal beliefs of the panelists and do not necessarily represent the beliefs of the Provox Media Group or its sponsors. Join us next time for more real talk from real men. Conversations from the Cave.